What's up, curious youngsters? If you're under 20, you've surely at least once watched or heard about the amazing world of Gumball. A strange series, one of those that seem like simple cartoons, but then ends up having secrets, Easter eggs, and hidden adult jokes. Very curious. The main plot is based on the life of Gumball, a kind of cat boy who goes through different adventures, along with Darwin, who is his best friend, adoptive brother, and even his pet. From references to The Simpsons to names with super curious origins. For this and much more, these are 30 things about the amazing world of Gumball that you didn't know 5 minutes ago. Puppies should be called little dogs. The main character's name, Darwin, is not random, friend. It actually comes from the inverted siren of Charles Darwin, the so famous biologist historian. And it's named that way because, unlike the common siren, this one had a fish body and human legs. 2. As I said earlier, this series is really very rare. And for example, apparently, there's a requirement where at least one character in each episode has to suffer some injury or accident. We don't know if it has to do with a more general hidden plot, which could have been written by our crazy internet friends. Or if it's just a simple detail from the animators, but it's very strange. 3. As we know, if we are in a video of curious things from Mr. Curiosity, the well-known references cannot be missing. The producers and animators of Gumball based the design and animation on the world of the Muppets. Of Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, who in addition to resembling the Muppets, have really very strange episodes. Prepare that pie for me right now. 4. A rather silly fact but at the same time curious is that Goomba, as we know, is 12 years old and our little fish Darwin is 2 years younger, that is 10 years old. Okay, so far so good, but what's curious, Mr. Curiosity? Well, is that with 2 years difference they go to the same school level, which is quite strange. 5. In the pilot episode, the very first one. The series was originally planned to be called Adult Swim and set in a prison or institution rather than using the name we know today. The series, which featured unconventional cartoons, was initially intended to be entirely different for an extended period. 6. Most of the time when a movie or series is successful, interviews are done with the directors or producers, and in this case, in an interview that was done with the creator of the series, Ben Bokele. He surprised everyone by saying that in real life, he is allergic to cats and that he also does not like the color blue at all. Ben Bokele, the creator, worked for ACCA Studio, an ad animation company. So many of the secondary characters we see in different episodes are actually old mascots from advertising campaigns that were never used. That's how you save money. Jimmy A. As I said a few minutes ago, things change and ideas adapt to new projects. So much so that at first Goomba was going to be a blue dog, although later it changed to be a black cat, but in the end they left it as a blue cat. Make up your mind, damn 9. Gumball's real full name is Zach Christopher Watterson. In fact, his middle name was going to be Christopher. But Richard, being quite useless, made a mistake when it was time to put it and got the name of his own son wrong. Continuing with the references, we find that for many crazy internet theorists, Darkwing is inspired by Nemo, Gumball from Doraemon, Anais from the Shinchan Show series, and Carrie is inspired by Boo, the ghost from the Mario games. And I don't know about you, but it seems to me that they have a lot of similarities. Once Carrie has a very strange type of animation, and by the way they made it, we can see a trace of red and blue colors in its shape. So if you put on 3D glasses, you can see that it sticks out a bit from the 12 screen. One of the most specific details of the series, which only the most curious surely saw, is that although it seems that Darwin has no nose, it can be seen in some episodes. 13. According to some sites specializing in analyzing series and movies, the program of The Incredible World of Gumball. Not only did it have great success with the child audience, but it also had good acceptance among teenagers and adults. Because many of its references are from 80s cinema and television. 14. I don't know if the creator had little imagination or is simply obsessed with Easter eggs. And I say this because the characters Anais, Richard, and Nicole Watterson, that is Gumball's sister, father, and mother, bear the names of different members of Ben Bokele's family. What a great gesture, Ben Quince! As I said, the creator greatly admired Charles Darwin, the historian. And as if that wasn't enough, he named one of the main characters of the series Darwin. Moreover, this is an evolved fish that ends up being terrestrial. 16. According to Ben Bokele, the name Gumball was born before the character itself had a defined visual design, that is, a shape. Since it is also the name of a candy or a kind of chewing gum, very well known in the United States, it conveyed that idea of childhood and apparently it sounded good. 17. The town called Elmore, where the entire series takes place, is set and generated from real photos. From San Francisco and Vallejo, two well-known California cities, it also appears in some London outskirts. Benbok Lake was inspired by Japan's Arikara forest known by Logan Paul to create the wilderness space for the show. Since the Japanese forest is said to be enchanted, due to the large number of suicides that occur there, it is also said to be inhabited by demons and monsters. 19. The Watterson children are the only child characters in the show, whose voices are performed by real children in their original English language. With Logan Groff and Jacob Hopkins being the voices of Gumball at different stages of the show, Wesley Bosky and Terrell Ramsey Jr. voice Darwin, while Kyla Roy Kowalewski voices Anais. The rest of the characters are all played by different adults. In China, an animated program called Miracle Star was created. The show copies the plot, characters, and scripts from several episodes of The Incredible World of Gumball in a distasteful manner. And even though the main character is a kind of kid, the similarities and copies are too much. 21. All members of the Watterson family are cats and rabbits, with the exception of Darwin, who is a goldfish. This is when the internet's wildest theories emerge, ranging from parental deceptions involving rabbits and cats to possible adoptions. Because Darwin's family died in a tragic accident. But what a horror! 22. Throughout the series, they always show us a quite irresponsible Gumball, who they have to be constantly calling attention to. However, in only one episode across all seasons, he abruptly changes his personality and becomes responsible. The episode is called The Responsible. The name shows a lack of creativity. 23. Almost always or always. Gumball's mom, Nicole Watterson, spends hours cleaning the house, and when she has nothing to do, she directly breaks objects to keep cleaning. As seen in the painting episode, where she is going to create total domestic chaos. And with details like these, we continue to confirm how terribly random the episodes of The Amazing World of Gumball 24 are. Only the very meticulous and curious will notice this. But we also don't know if it was to save money and time, or if it's all part of a more general hidden and secret argument that we will never know. But most of the inanimate objects in the series have the same face. For example, the sun, the Watterson's mailbox, and most of the circles we see all share the same face. 25. Gumball and the Simpsons. We talked about some references earlier and now we have to add this one, as there are many similarities between these characters and those that appear in The Simpsons. Gumball is a mischievous teen like Bart. His younger sister Anais is a genius, similar to Lisa and Richard. He is the stereotypical lazy, bald, overweight father who spends his time watching television akin to Homer Simpson. In the episode The Car, when our characters throw the ball into neighbor Robinson's yard and end up tidying the garden. As a supposed punishment, Mr. Robinson is going to tell them that they were lazy and that they forgot to mow the lawn, making a clear reference to the character Benson's phrase from the series Regular Show 27. We continue with the references to Charles Darwin and we find that he has a turtle as a pet. Well, the turtle, besides being weirder than shit, is a turtle. And Charles Darwin throughout his life had a Galapagos turtle as a pet which came to live 176 years, truly crazy. 28. If we pay attention to Gumball, like many of the cartoons, there are problems when they put on clothes to go to the beach, as it then means they were naked all this time. And does something similar happen with Darwin? Since the only clothes he wears is a pair of sneakers, so he's always naked. 29. Rocky Robinson, one of the secondary characters in the series, is the 27-year-old son of Gaylor and Margaret Robinson. He, like his parents, resembles a Muppet. Throughout the episodes, he holds various jobs in high school. ELM. He is the cook, the janitor, the maintenance man, and even the bus driver. But the curious thing, the Easter egg is in the shirts he always wears, like the ABCD one, an obvious reference and tribute to the heavy rock legend AC/DC. And he is also seen with a Bacau shirt, with a style very similar to the KISS 30 logo. As we can see, the world of Goomba has a very strange animation. It's like they mix 2D with 3D things, different textures, and it's very strange. Well, apparently, it is mostly inspired by the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit from 1988, which had this very strange type of animation. Before I go, let me greet some subscribers. First of all, a big greeting for Aurora Gomez, who wanted a little greeting, then another big greeting for Joanna Aranda. Finally, I'll greet the Beast on behalf of Joaquin, who asked for a greeting. Now I hope you liked it. Leave your like, comment, everything, but really, everything you want. Don't forget to share the channel and the video with your friends. So now we kiss more. Mr. Curiosity. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell so you don't miss any new video. I am Mr. Curiosity.